Hello, and welcome into the Piles of Paragraphs creative space. I'm Lori, and today I'm going to tackle the Roxy Creation Challenge for week 24, which is mark making. This idea is inspired by Rachel over at Roxy Creations, and I, as always, strongly encourage you to go over and see what she created. I did some, following her lead, she had done some mark making in a book that she did. There we go. With her alcohol markers, her Ohuhu markers, and I use the same sort of markers. And I just did some marks, several pages. Different colors and some different just marks, pink circles, some attempts at leaves, with some marginal success. I was getting a cramp in my hand for some odd reason, so I started doing them with my non-dominant hand, my left hand. You can tell things just got really out of hand there. So I did quite a few pages. I think that's it, yes, in the book. And then I thought, I think since I was getting a cramp in my hand, I thought, I'll try some with paint and these crazy amount of bits and bops that I save always, because I think, they'll make such good marks. And some do and some don't. Of course, part of the problem is that I got a little overzealous with the water I was trying to add to my paint to thin it down, and that became a bit of a disaster. So, let's see. Yeah, I've got all kinds of things. But basically all I did was get some plastic lids and some other stuff and some black acrylic paint. I'm going to use the Artist's Loft, easy for me to say. Ivory black paint, because that was the black paint that was on top of my paint drawer. So I had really good success with this round circle lid, and so I'm pretty happy with the results that I had gotten from that one. Challenge is also to set them aside to dry, and I'm really used to things drying really fast here in the desert, but since my paint was so uneven, I did have some challenges with that too. I got some pages that were stuck together, so I'll drop that in there. I also took a pen lid and did some it is really fun to do. The markers were fun too until my hand started to hurt. My challenge with this pin lid is that I keep getting a little bubble of paint in it, and then it makes gloppy marks and not the little marks that I think I like better. Who knows? There may come the time when I go to use this piece of paper. Oh yes, and I took these out of the book because I knew they were going to have a longer drying time, and I didn't want my whole book to end up getting sealed shut. So these are from the same book that I did the Ohuhu markers in. There's a gloppy one. I think probably what I should have done was get out my gel plate and use that as my palette instead of I've got a plastic lid that I'm using from a Pyrex bowl that the lid split, so it became part of my art palettes. Didn't want to throw it away. Try to reuse any plastic that I have as many times as I can before it goes out into the world to stay forever. So even though this is a small pen lid and makes small circles, it goes relatively quickly. And that was pretty fun. Okay, set that over there to dry. Not on top of the last one that I did. But I had some other ones that I think with the gel plate will probably do much better. I thought this little thing would do pretty well, but I got kind of mixed results on this too, but it depends on the thickness of the paint that I dip it into. I put a little blob of paint down and I was spritzing it with my little spray bottle, and I was like, oh, that's just taking too long. I'm just gonna pour a little bit of water. Well, I don't even know that I have to tell you what happened, but of course I poured way too much water and ended up with enough paint to probably make marks for the rest of my life. But anyway, so then I had to add a little more paint to thicken it up, and you know. So these are the kind of marks that all these little bits can give you, and it's just kind of a fun take on when Rachel was doing some painting with a brush, but I just, especially after I got the cramp in my hand, just the pain in my hand, I was like, I think I'll just do all these little plastic bits. Let's see, anything else good in there? No, I think that's good. Oh, I also did some with the, I think this is a stencil brush. And depending on how much paint I got on it, it did make some kind of fun swirly marks. Rachel did some circles with her pens that I thought were really cool, and I wasn't as successful at that as she was. So I kind of liked this, and it's just a flat brush. Yes, the drier the paint, the better the marks, I think. But depending on where I hit my palette, in inverted commas, the paint's wetter and doesn't make as nice marks. But still, never know. This might just be the perfect thing for one of my collages at some point. So this is kind of my take on the Roxy Creations mark making challenge. Let's see, set this one aside too. Ooh, where am I going to set it? I'll set it over here. So these are the ones that were marginally successful. Kind of interesting marks. Not what I expected on any of these, I don't think. Oh, this one is still not dry because I got some big gobs of paint on that one. Oh, there's the circle one like I did. This is the last one that I just showed you. This one I was using my very messy palette knife. Made some kind of interesting marks. This is another one of the pin lids. This one is what's left of a disposable razor once I took the sharp parts off. And I those made some kind of good marks. I think those will make really cool marks on the gel plate, so I am kind of excited about that. But there we go. That's what we've got for week 24 of the Roxy Creations mark making challenge. Let's see, this one, I don't find that one so annoying. Some of them I think I just were too busy, but of course, I'm only going to use little tiny pieces of them in anything I make, so that will be better. So I thank you for joining me today, and I hope you'll join me again in the future. And so for now, I'll say bye-bye.